Welcome, my fellow sports nerds, to the Borderless Sports Pod. I'm Locke.
I'm Tom. If you enjoyed this clip, check out the full length on our YouTube and Spotify.
Links are in the description. Ciao.
Alrighty, the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Chiefs, Eagles.
You got the Chiefs that are
Three-peat.
going for the three-peat to become probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest team in NFL history. And you have the Eagles who are looking to bounce back after losing in the Super Bowl 2 years ago and to be the team that stopped the Chiefs, because no one's been able to do it since Burrow in 21 in a playoff game, and then Brady before that in the actual Super Bowl when he beat Mahomes there. So it's going to be, I'm expecting an absolute spectacle. It's both teams, when I'm looking at both of them and the matchups on both sides, I'm just like, there are so many key star impactful players on both sides of the game that like this can go either way. So I expect it to be like such a close contest.
Yeah.
I still expect it to be points. I don't think it will be a grueler because I think both offenses are that good. But yeah, I am just so pumped. What about you? How do you feel?
Yeah, as I said, I really haven't mentally been that engaged in the game since a few days after the conference final games. Thought I'd have a think about it. Thought, bounce back and forth between thinking the Eagles are the team, better team, they're going to stop the Chiefs, and then it's like, what am I doing? The Chiefs are the Chiefs, they're not going to lose.
Yeah.
I bet against the Chiefs like the last week, and I was not betting against them against the Texans, but I thought they had a chance to get upset there. So do I really want to compound my two losses to make it three and go against them in the Super Bowl? It's just, it's been very back and forth for me. At the moment, I'm hoping just honestly for a good game. I'm hoping that it's a solid game. Both sides have a good, it goes down to like the last 2 minutes and may the best team win. My current thoughts on how the game's actually going to unfold is I'm still leaning Chiefs. I'm leaning Chiefs. I just think the big games, you want to back them in. Eagles, I would say, have the better team, but the Chiefs have the advantage where it matters, which is coaching and quarterback. And I think in a big game, especially coaching, because Hurts had played well in that first Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you can be too hesitant. Well, hesitant's not the right word, but too down on Hurts when it comes to big game performances.
Yeah.
I just think the coaching mismatch is a gigantic gulf, and especially Spagnuolo, I think he's going to be able to stop the run, force Hurts to throw a little, and that's when the Chiefs' corners are going to make some plays. I wouldn't be surprised if Hurts throws some intercepts, which he hasn't been doing much this year, and I think that could turn the game on its head a little. The Chiefs' offense, I don't think will move the ball that much. I think the under is probably a good bet in this game. I think both offenses are going to struggle a little. I don't think Eagles are going to, especially the first half, which historically their run game hasn't been great in the first half anyways. I don't think they're going to get a good run game to start. I think that the Chiefs will make some plays, but I don't think they're going to be moving the ball at will. I reckon they'll have a great first drive, and then maybe they'll stall a little bit. But I think in the back end, typically the Eagles pick it up, but I think the Chiefs are going to be able to strangle them and not give them anything. It'll be close going late into the fourth, and I think the Mahomes aura, magic, whatever you want to call it, sense of destiny, as we like to say, will just carry them home, and I think it'll be the three-peat. I think Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown scorer, I think he'll get one, and I like the under for the game. So I think my multi or parlay, whatever you want to call it, will be Chiefs money line or the 1.5. I mean, either or. I mean, I think anything under 2.5 I'd take.
Yeah.
Kelce anytime and under total match points.
Yeah, wow, okay.
That's how I'm feeling at the moment.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I can definitely see where you're coming from. Like, Hurts, he was there 2 years ago, had a great game. Obviously, just had that one fumble, which led to a score, which was probably the turning point for them. They were leading at that point, I'm pretty sure, from memory. So, yeah, he gets to come back, sort of make a name for himself in this sort of big stage and hopefully come out one better. But as you know, the Chiefs are the Chiefs.
They are.
And they've got Pat Mahomes, who is the best quarterback right now. He's the most clutch. I think didn't they score like 17 points in the fourth quarter in that last Super Bowl as well?
Yeah.
So,
they've had some great comebacks. I mean, the Falcons game comes to mind. Was it 27-3 or something?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
absolutely insane.
Oh, no, was that the Patriots? What am I talking about?
That was Patriots against the Falcons.
I saw a meme of that today where someone was hanging up the score line of that game.
Really?
The Falcons 20s, like on some banner over the... Oh, it was hilarious. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. With Pat being so clutch, it's... Because I expect it to be such a close contest, if it comes down to he has the ball in his hands and he's just down by a score, has to get it to win, I'm going to put money on it. So I like the Chiefs as well. I'm leaning towards a bit of a different direction. I'm kind of hedging a little bit because I think it's going to be close. I'm like taking in alternative line to +3.5 just to cover a field goal. No, for Chiefs. Take Chiefs down to +3.5 just to cover if they do lose by a field goal.
Jeez, that's a big hedge.
Yes.
Taking the -1.5 favourite to a +3.
It is. But pairing that with a couple of the impact players on both sides for me, we talked about Spags and his defense and like being able to show different blitzes like we saw against Josh Allen on that last play on the 4th down. Like the corner blitz there was just insane. So Spags is going to have stuff sort of dialed up to get after Hurts. His main priority is going to be to stop Saquon. He's been the best running back this whole season. He's having an absolute record-breaking year. I think he's how many yards away from breaking the record, like 80 or 70, something around that. So he could get that.
They've got to stop the big plays with Saquon. Like, he's going to get some yards because he's going to get 20 or so carries. Like, you can't be doing what happened in the conference final game where he's the first run breaking away for a 67-yard TD.
You have to keep him to average 2-3 yards a carry.
No big breakaways.
Something below that way. So if you're keeping Hurts on like a 2nd and 8 and a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, like that's when they're going to start happening to throw it more to those receivers. And because they're so good defensively, trying to get after him, that's why I'm going to be putting a focus on Goddard, the tight end, because that's probably one of the weakest links in the Chiefs defense is the tight end position. So
definitely.
I kind of like Goddard to get some yards. At least he's over. I think he's around like the 50, 55 mark right now. So I don't mind taking like 50 plus for that. Because, they've got Chris Jones on defense there for the Chiefs, and he's just...
Big game player.
He's going to be having a field day. Like, there's a few injuries on that offensive line for the Eagles. So if he can get past his matchup and get to Hurts is going to have to get the ball out pretty quickly. So a couple of little dishes off to Goddard, I can see that a little bit. 5-10 yards here, and so hopefully he has 5-6 receptions and gets that mark.
I think that'll be the Eagles' game plan. Sort of short throws to Goddard, a lot of rushes with Barkley, a few Hurts, maybe rushes, and then try to get into short yardage situations, get the tush push in, and then every now and then you chuck that deep shot to AJ Brown to extend the defense and try to hit one of those.
100%.
And it'll be basically, as I said, for the Chiefs, it's going to be about not allowing the big plays, not allowing a AJ Brown 60-yard reception, not allowing a Saquon 70-yard touchdown run, just keeping things in tight. Barkley's going to make some plays. Hurts is going to make a couple plays. It's they're in the Super Bowl for a reason.
Yeah, just got to limit the impact of those.
Limit the big ones. Make their drives go long and just keep it tight. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about the aura. We for sure as hell know the Eagles are aware of the Mahomes magic. Yeah. Everyone does, and you're not going to think even if you're up 14 in the 4th quarter, no one on that Eagles sideline is going to think this game's over. Like no one. It's going to the mental aspect of that. I don't think you can underestimate it. He seems inevitable type thing. So having that on your side as a bettor and just as a fan, if you're rooting for the Chiefs, is such an advantage. You're just always going to be in it. Yeah. So as I said, I'm not totally confident though in the Chiefs offense. Like they haven't looked great all year. They've looked really good in the playoffs. To be fair, I mean that's when Reed just pulls out all his tricks.
That's when they turn it on.
Mahomes comes out laser focused. He gets that look in his eye.
They have a whole new playbook that just comes out.
I mean, Reed is great at coaching in the big games, and Mahomes just comes out with that laser focus. Like you saw in the Bills game, Josh Allen came out tight, nervous, anxious, dropped the snap. Did not look like his normal self. He obviously snapped back into it and had a great second half, but early on, no way. Whereas Mahomes comes out and he's just Terminator. He's like, I'm doing a job. He is so his mental is like Jordan level, where he really, you can tell the only thing he's worried about is winning. He's got no doubts. He's got no insecurities. He's going out there to win and play his best football. And as that's the guy you want to root for, right? At the end of the day, because you just have so much faith. In terms of, it has all the hallmarks to be a great game. Both teams are great. Both defenses are really good. Both offenses have big game players who are in good form. You know, Kelsey had a great couple playoff games. He's a big game performer. Some people saying it might be his last game. Barkley's obviously in career best form. Hurts is a little banged up running wise, right? Like he played all right in the last game, but you don't know how.
Still ran for some yards.
Yeah, you don't know how healthy or unhealthy he is, but he's capable of making some big plays with his legs.
He might be taking something, who knows, most likely.
Definitely. Saquon, I mean, obviously,
impact player.
Massive impact player. Mahomes speaks for himself.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have some weapons as well outside right at the moment in wide receiver. So there's a lot of players that can break this game open. And as we mentioned, Chris Jones and some of those Eagles secondary, they could easily get an intercept. So as we've always said throughout this playoffs, though, typically whichever team wins the turnover battle wins the game. Yeah. And I think this game's going to be no different. If any of the QBs throws for 2 or 3 intercepts, they probably lose.
Yeah.
Any running back or QB drops a snap or has a silly fumble, probably lose the game. So it's really just, for me, going to be tight football and limit your mistakes and try to just get the big plays when they arrive.
100%. Yeah, totally agree. Like, just adding on to that Chiefs offense, like the other way that I'm sort of leaning is, obviously Kelsey had a bit of a dull game against the Bills. Like, he didn't really get amongst it much. They were, obviously, their defense was focused on stopping him, which they did. So they went to other targets. So Xavier Worthy, he's one of the key receivers for the Chiefs. But I'm looking towards sort of like the Juju, because I feel like he's probably one of those ones. He plays like a slot and can sort of gain some pretty key yards in that middle of the pack there. That's
a good point, because previously in previous Super Bowls, I remember there's always one wide receiver that you don't expect. That, I don't know if Reed draws it up this way, that he's like, this is the guy that's going to get the receptions. And if you can pick, could be Juju, could be someone else, but you know someone's going to get it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be D-Hop when they made that signing. Yeah, he's like a veteran, but he's sort of like, they've kind of like
push him out to an edge and take a lot of the attention away.
Juju's taken a bit more of that attention, so I'm kind of looking towards like the Juju over for receiving.
Yeah,
that's kind of like my third leg.
I think like a Juju or a Worthy or one of those wide receivers outside of Kelsey and Hopkins is probably going to get a TD reception and probably going to go for a fair few yards. It just seems to happen in these big games that Reed, it's like, oh, you're going to double Kelsey? Yeah. Okay, we'll go to this guy. You know what I mean? He just knows exactly what you're going to do.
He plays for his key.
Yeah, and he's one step ahead of you, and he trusts his guys. You know, he's trusts his guys to make a play. Mahomes is going to put in the right spot. So yeah, look, I don't know, I've said it many times already, but if everything goes to plan, should be an excellent game. And hopefully, as I said, I would love an overtime. Haven't had any overtimes in the playoffs. Would love an overtime. Go deep. And as I said, you can watch it all here live with us on the Borderless Sports Pod.
100%. So yeah, I'm back in the Chiefs for the three-peat. Well, we're both back in the Chiefs.
Both back in the Chiefs. The line's been pretty fluctuated a little bit, right? It's opened at 2.5.
Yeah, then
down to 1.5. Back up to 2.5. I don't know if it ever touched 3. Maybe did. I didn't see if it did. Obviously here we only really see the half points. Yeah. But in Vegas and in America, it could have hit the 3. Yeah, it could hit the 3. Like yeah. So maybe, but yeah, it seems to fluctuate mostly between the 2.5 and the 1.5.
Yeah.
At the 1.5. You got to like the Chiefs, right? And then 2.5, there's definitely some value, I think, on the Eagles at 2.5.
Yeah, well, that's the key number, right? The 2 that they speak about in the...
obviously, Eagles 3, you'd love that, because you could see this being close. Like, an Eagles 3, it's... if you wanted to alternate up to the 3.5, I'd like that. So what's your multi? You got Chiefs plus 3.
I'd go Chiefs plus 3.5. I can try and work it out live if you want.
Yeah, do it. Because, wait, so...
I haven't been able to do it.
When you say you hedge the Chiefs plus 3s, like, what are you hedging against?
Like, if Eagles win. Like, I think if Eagles win,
it's your bet just straight up Chiefs 3.5?
No. So I'm just throwing Chiefs 3.5 in a multi.
Right.
So
okay.
This is what my same game multi.
So you need a big asterisk on your Chiefs pick then. If you're not confident to even take them on the money line, even on the money line, come on.
All right. So let me. I'll tell you what the odds are at plus 3.5, and then we can compare it to the money line and just see.
I reckon my guess for the plus 3.5 is going to be $1.48.
So, Chiefs plus 3.5, and then Goddard, I'll do like 50 plus receiving yards, and then Juju, I'll do what's his actual? So he's over under 16.5, so I'll go over on that.
Jeez, pretty.
That's
pretty low, isn't it?
475.
What's the Chiefs
That's
plus 3? Just that.
So plus 3.5. The total for 3 legs is 475. So then if I swap out that for money line, it goes to 575.
What's the Chiefs plus 3.5? Just straight up.
151.
Oh, it's close. 3 cents off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not bad. What's Eagles plus 3.5? That'd be what, $1.75?
$1.57.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What?
Eagles plus 3.5, $1.57.
And the Chiefs plus 3.5 is $1.51.
$1.51.
What? That sounds crazy. Considering you
Yeah.
happen to move the line 4 points on the Chiefs side and only 2 points on the Eagles side, and only what, a 7-cent difference between the two.
Yep.
It just shows the books are expecting a 3-point game either
Yeah.
way. Like they're expecting. Wow, that's
And then
wild.
just investing more on the Chiefs to win that.
Yeah, the fact that the Eagles plus 3.5 is so low. I mean, that's actually quite illuminating, to be honest.
All right, so are you going to allow me to have the plus 3.5, or do you want me
Look,
to
I'm
go
going to
money line?
allow you, but I feel like you owe it to the fans. Put a little asterisk on your Chiefs pick here. It's like, yes,
All right, I'm just going money line.
I
then.
believe in the
I'm
Chiefs,
sick of you
but
bullying me into this stuff, man. I'm sick of you bullying me.
no,
into
hey,
this.
no, you put it in.
575. Chiefs money
No,
line.
look,
Chiefs
I do not
money
want to be
line.
responsible if the Chiefs lose by 3 points here.
because this is recorded now.
Yeah.
Chiefs
Look,
money line.
My point is not that is a bad bet. My point is it's a little disingenuous to say I'm backing the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm taking them at plus 3.5 just in case they lose.
It's called betting smart.
That's called it's not.
Hey,
it's
I'm
it's
a-
fence sitting. That's what that's called.
I just moved into a new home. I'm trying to save some money. I'm trying to win some
That's
money.
called fence sitting, my brother.
Alrighty.
It's
Chiefs
the
money
Super
line.
Bowl. There we
Chiefs
go.
money line. Got up 50 plus receiving, and over on on Juju receiving, which is 16.5.
I like it. And what was mine? Mine was Chiefs handicap -1, -1.5. Kelsey anytime, and total match points under. I don't really like betting the match points under.
Nah.
I did. You know, you just put your phone down, so I'll use mine
Oh, sorry.
to see what the actual over under is. I probably should take note of this before I bet it. It is total match points 48.
Yeah, 48.5.
Look, I could betting match points is always. You know, you're asking for a kick in the guts with this one. It could easily.
Yeah. Especially because we want to go overtime.
Both teams could come out, score a TD on their first, and all of a sudden it's 20-18 at halftime. You're like, well, that was a great bet.
Yeah,
But-
and then the whole second half, you're just like, what am I cheering for?
Yeah, nah. Maybe I won't put the over under in the main multi then, and I'll put that in a separate, just because I really don't want that to be. I don't want a boring second.
You are
half.
always against betting on it, so I think you
Yeah.
should
Look,
leave it out.
If you want to know what my final multi will be, tune into the live broadcast, and
I like it.
I'll reveal it then for the free money.
We might try and think of some more, cool little props that we might, have a think about.
I like the train
live
of thought you're
stream.
thinking on though. The Chiefs receivers outside of the main ones, outside of D-Hop,
Yeah.
outside of Kelsey, I think said Worthy, Juju, and I'm sure there's probably another one that's in there somewhere. It could even the running back possibly. Kareem Hunt or
Kareem Hunt.
Pacheco could get a few receptions. And one prop I love betting in big games is
Heads and
Mahomes
tails.
rushing over.
Oh, okay.
Mahomes in the big games. We saw it against the Bills. He just he runs when he needs to. Like he's the best at deciding when's the right time to run and going for it. So I'm guessing that his rushing prop will be a bit higher after he smacked the Bills around with the running. I think the prop was 23.5 against the Bills, and he essentially got that within a quarter. I mean, I think he ended on 40 something. I think he even had nearly more rush yards than Allen. Maybe he did.
It's 28.5.
28, so it's gone up about 6 points from the Bills game, which it's a pretty big jump. But I think that sort of shows now that Vegas and the public are starting to learn that in the big games, Mahomes uses his legs probably more efficiently and effectively than anyone else in the league. So that's not a bad one. Maybe I'll add that one in instead of the under.
I'll tell you what I don't mind. What about Eagles halftime, Chiefs full time?
Eagles halftime, Chiefs full time.
So Eagles leading at halftime, and then Chiefs win the game. That's 775.
You know what's kind of made me think of is actually reversing that.
Reversing that, Chiefs halftime.
Because I'd like to think that, you know how I said
Eagles are
earlier,
so good at a second
in
half.
the coaching mismatch. Typically, a coaching mismatch you come out. Reed's had 2 weeks to prepare for this. Spags had 2 weeks to prepare for this.
So
We
they just
know
come out hot.
we know the Chiefs have the coaching advantage over the Eagles coaches. So Chiefs come out, shut down the Eagles offense, score a few touchdowns. They're up 14-3 at half. And then all of a sudden, second half comes around. Chiefs get a little tight because, like, oh my God, we're about to get the three-peat. At the end of the day, they're still human. It's a Super Bowl. They're going to, if they're up, anyone who's up in the Super Bowl in the second half, so you're going to get a few jitters.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they might get a turnover and the Eagles start, Saquon has a big run, and before you know it, the whole of Philly's singing Kumbaya. So, possibly. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I bet a few of those recently in the playoffs. Those ones like Ravens halftime, Bills, and none of them hit. So I
That
don't
one's
like.
$8.75, so a full $1 more for Chiefs than
It's not
Eagles.
bad. Look, we're really just trucking shit at the wall at the moment,
We are.
seeing what
We
sticks. But yeah,
But yeah, so hopefully you guys can tune into the live stream.
the live stream. Come hang out. Come chill. We'll have a great time.
Yeah.
We'll have to order some Uber Eats or something throughout to get some American food in.
Yeah, get some wings.
Yeah, some wings and who knows what else. And yeah, hopefully it's just a great game and we can get some live reactions and have plenty to talk about afterwards. Congratulations to making it to the end of the video. If I may be so bold to ask for your like and subscription to the channel, we would very much appreciate it.
Click the link on screen to check out the full app and our other segments on the channel. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.
Namaste.